transformation. But today I will give some ideas about subspaces, bases, span, this type of topics. So first I will discuss about subspace. Here I have given some introduction. In the study of any algebraic structure, it is interest to examine subsets that possesses the same structure as the set under consideration. The appropriate notion of substructure for vector spaces is introduced in this section. Now I will give the definition of subspace. That is, what is subspace? A subset W of a vector space V over a field F is called a subspace of V if W is a vector space over F with the operations of addition and scalar multiplication defined on V. So that means a subset W of a vector space V over a field F will be called a subspace of V if it satisfies the two operations of addition and scalar multiplication defined on V. Now I will give the definition of what is span. So let S be a non-empty subset of a vector space V. The span of S, which is denoted by span S, is the set consisting of all linear combinations of the vectors in S. For convenience, we define span phi equal to 0, singleton 0. So what is the span? That is, S be a non-empty subset. When S be a non-empty subset of a vector space V, the span of S, which is denoted by span S, is a set consisting of all linear combinations of the vectors in S. Now I will give an example about this. Here this is the question, that is x1 is the vector that is 0 1 3 matrix, and x2 is 2 4 0. So I have to find v1, which is the subspace generated by x1, and v2, which is a subspace generated by x2, and then we have to find, that is, v1 intersection v2. The second question is find v3. V3 means the subspace generated by x1 and x2, x1 x2. Is v3, we have to show that is v3 is equal to v1 union v2, or it is not equal to v1 union v2. The another question is find a subspace S of v3 such that x1 does not belongs to S and x2 does not belongs to S. And the third question.
Shantika,
Yes, sir.
yeah, someone asked that.
Yes, sir.
Linear combination means finite combination or not? Yeah.
So linear combination, obviously finite combination.
Yes. Any question regarding this?
আর একটা প্রবলেম আছে, সেটা হচ্ছে তো নন এমটি সাবসেট নিতে হবে সাবস্পেসে বোধহয়। এটা নন এমটি সাবসেট নেসেসারি নয় সাবস্পেসের ডেফিনিশনে। সব সাবসেট নিয়েছো ডব্লিউ।
Sir, if we choose empty subset, then it is trivially subspace.
How?
Because sir, there is
theta should be belongs to W.
If there exists point, then their linear combination belongs to that set, but here does not contain point.
Don't define about linear combination. You define only subspace. First you define subspace, then linear combination.
So in the definition of subspace, we cannot tell the linear combination in the definition of subspace.
Yes.
So in the definition of subspace,
linear combination, after subspace you define linear combination. I am coming to the linear combination. But if you define first subspace, then a non-empty means theta should be belongs to this W. Theta should be belongs to this W. Otherwise,
Yes, sir. Yes,
subspace
sir.
does not define. Theta should be belongs to W.
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay, carry on.
Yes, sir.
একটা কোশ্চেন আছে একটা কোশ্চেন আছে
Shanandika,
Yes, sir.
I would like to request all of you, don't click the present now button. Those who are joining, please don't click the present now button. Shanandika, please do the same thing as before.
Okay, sir.
Go to
Okay, sir.
present now and then.
স্যার একটা কোশ্চেন
Yeah.
First of all, Arup sir told that theta must be belongs to the set. Okay, fine, but from definition, there is a no mention theta belongs to that function. First of all, there are two criteria for any two element xy. Thus, x plus y is belongs to that set, and if xy belongs to that set, then implies x plus y belongs to that set. This is the implication. This is a must noted. Second is that if
No,
C is
this is a necessary sufficient condition. This is not the definition of subspace. This
okay.
is you are talking about the necessary and sufficient condition, like as Cauchy's general principle, necessary and sufficient condition, not the convergency. This is the you are talking about necessary and sufficient condition, not the definition of subspace.
সরি স্যার
Yes.
কোশ্চেনটা কি ছিল একটু শুনতে পারি তখন লিভ হয়ে গেছিলাম
Okay,
কোশ্চেনটা
okay.
একটু রিপিট
Thank
করবেন
you.
স্যার
I understand.
Question is that
Carry on.
Sir is talking about the fact that whenever you want to define a subspace, you need to take non-empty sets, right? Arup?
of course
Yes, non-empty means minimum theta should be belongs to W. Theta
theta
should be belongs to W.
the here sir theta should be belongs to the here because if we take W is a subspace of V, then W plus should be a subgroup of V plus. So we need to subgroup of W plus of V plus, and subgroup হওয়ার জন্য তো ওর ভিতরে জিরোটাকে থাকতেই হচ্ছে, মানে আমাকে ওর অ্যালজেব্রিক স্ট্রাকচারটাকে নিতে হচ্ছে, তাহলে W প্লাস কে V প্লাস এর সাবগ্রুপ হতে হচ্ছে। সো ওর মধ্যে থিটাটাকে না নিলে তো সাবগ্রুপই হবে না।
হ্যাঁ সেইটাই বলে দেওয়া আছে, সেই জন্যই বলে দেওয়া,
সেই কারণে থিটাকে লাগবে, সাবগ্রুপ ফর্ম করার জন্য লাগবেই লাগবে।
হ্যাঁ সেই জন্যই থিটাটা শিওর লাগবে আর কি মিনিমাম। হ্যাঁ এটা একটা এমটি সেটও তো হতে পারে না, ফাই নিতেই পারি আমি, আই ক্যান টেক ফাই, তখন তুমি কি আর সাবস্পেস বলতে পারবে, সেটাই প্রবলেম। ঠিক আছে, ওকে ক্যারি অন শান্তিকা। ওকে হ্যাঁ ওকে ক্যারি অন।
So now I will discuss about the example which I have given here. Before giving the description, sir, আমি কি ক্যামেরায় যেতে পারি?
প্রশ্ন, হ্যাঁ দাঁড়াও, আরেকটা তোমাকে কে প্রশ্ন করলো যে লিনিয়ার কম্বিনেশনটা তুমি ফাইনাইট নেবে না ইনফাইনাইট নেবে, কে একটা কি প্রশ্ন করলো না, কি অভিষেক কি বললো বোধহয়, অভিষেক?
Subroto asked that whether you are considering linear combination as finite combination or not. This is his question. Yeah.
Sir, finite combination নিয়েই করব।
Yeah, you need to take finite combination, right?
If you take finite dimensional vector space, then you need to take finite combination.
Yes, sir.
If you first consider that
Sir,
For any
sir, I have a
we are talking about finite
otherwise
combination.
as a John's lemma you will extend the basis. Okay, finite combination. Okay, carry on.
Okay, sir. Sir, আমি একটু ক্যামেরায় যেতে পারবো?
হ্যাঁ যাও ক্যামেরায় যাও। ওকে হ্যাঁ যাও ক্যামেরায় যাও, অসুবিধা নেই।
Sir, is it visible? Sir, is it visible? দেখা যাচ্ছে?
Yes. Visible. Okay, visible.
So I will describe the example. So first, one thing I would definitely say that the conditions for being a linear space, we know that if we take two elements from the set and then we take the sum, then the sum should must be in that set. And secondly, if we take any multiple from the set, the result will be still in the set. So if in linear space we get a subset which satisfies the two conditions, then we call it the subspace. Today, I will discuss the above example to review these two important properties of linear space and subspace. Now I will discuss the example. So here I have drawn the three axes, that is OX, OY and OZ, because because the example was in R3 plane. So here we have to take two vectors, that is x1 and x2. I have drawn these two vectors, that is this one is the one vector and this is the another vector. So first we have to find the subspace generated by x1, which is v1. So what is the meaning of subspace generated by x1? It means that we have to find the smallest subspace that contains x1, as small as we can get. So now we have to find the two conditions of subspace. Sorry. Two conditions of subspace. Let's keep in mind that the two conditions that satisfies the subspace, that is we have to take the addition and then the scalar multiplication will be there in the set. Now first I have drawn these two vectors, that is OX1 and OX2. So x1 vector and x2 vector. Now I will come to the first point, that is v1. V1 means the subspace generated by x1. So that means I have to take any multiple of x1. Then I have to take the subspace which generates x1. We can easily take the straight line that contains x1. So I will that means, and here this is the straight line. So here this is the straight line which contains x1. So we can give its name as v1. Similarly for x2, we can draw another straight line which contains x2. That is the thing. So I will give it v2. Now here we have get two straight lines which pass through the origin and they are not parallel. So here I come to the point, that is what is v1 intersection v2. What will we get? Here the two straight lines passes through the origins and it cuts here. So that is the intersection will contain simply the 0 point, that is the origin. So here the intersection is equal to 0 vector. So intersection will contain that 0 vector, 0. Now I will say that this one is also a subspace of R3, because we can get that 0 plus 0 also belongs to the set, and if we multiply any scalar, then it will be also in R3. So here the first question is completed. Now I will come to the second question, that is if v3 is equal to v1 union v2 or not. Now here this is the first condition. If we see that here if we take x1 and x2, then we can say that the first condition, that is the scalar multiplication, is satisfied. But now I will come to the second condition, that is the addition. So I have to take any two elements from these two lines. if we take any two elements, that is x1 and x2, then if we get that x1 plus x2, I will get 2, 5 and 3. Here this is the x1 and x2, x1 plus x2. If I draw this here, then the line will be like so.
Shantika,
Sir.
we can't see the screen properly.
Sure, sir.
I think okay, now it's okay. Yeah.
Okay, sir. So here I have drawn the sum, that is the x1 plus x2. It's similarly a straight line. Now I will come to the point that already I have got that x1 plus x2 is 2, 5, 3, but it does not belongs to v1 union v2. So it does not belongs to v1 union v2. That means we can't say that v1 union v2 is a subspace. So if v1 and union v2 is not a subspace, then how can it be possible that v3 is equal to v1 union v2? This is impossible, so it is not equal to v1 union v2. Now, one thing I would definitely say that now we have to identify, that is, what is v3. We can include any vector on the plane spanned by v1 and v2. That means here I can draw v3 like this. So here, this is the plane which contains both x1 and x2 vectors. And obviously the v1 and v2 are here. So we can give this as v3. Now, that means I'm looking at the subspace generated by two lines in R3. And the two lines will be spanned on the plane in R3. Now I want to now I will come to the second question, that is if x1 does not belongs to S and x2 does not belongs to S, then what will happen? I want to find a subspace of this plane so that x1 does not belongs to S and x2 does not belongs to S. First, because x1 does not belongs to S and x2 does not belongs to S, then I have to go away from these two lines. But where I will give this S? If we see that here x1 plus x2, we can give this as S. Now I want to stay away from these lines. We are talking about two planes in R3. So if x1 does not belongs to S and x2 does not belongs to S, then we can also say that v3 not equal to v1 union v2. Now I will come to the third question, that what is the value of v3 intersection xy plane? Here I've come to the point, that is, here we have got that v3 is also a plane. So we have to talk about the two intersection of the two planes, that is the v3 plane and that is the xy plane. These two are the planes in R3. So what we will get, that is, here v3 is a whole plane and xy plane is this plane. So that is v3 intersection xy plane will definitely contain v2. That means the vector which generates x2. So here the proof is completed. যদি কারো কিছু question থেকে থাকে, any questions?
Any questions from or remarks, suggestions? Okay, no question. Carry on.
So here I have completed the example. Then I will give another example, that is about a matrix. So I will come to the question, that is, here it is the remarks that let MNF be the vector space over F consisting of all n cross n real matrices for some fixed integer n. This is the main statement. Now I will come to the question, that is number 1, the set is consisting of all n cross n symmetric matrices forms subspace of MNF. The number 2 is the set is consisting of all n cross n skew symmetric matrices forms subspace of MNF. The third question is, here I have chosen a subspace W which is equal to A belongs to MNF such that trace A equal to 0 is a subspace of MNF. And the fourth condition, fourth property is the set consisting of all n cross n non-singular matrices cannot form a subspace. Here this is the question. Now I will, this is a very obvious proof, but I will give the explanation. I will first come to the first question, that is the set is consisting of all n cross n symmetric matrices forms a subspace of MNF. First, here we have to choose that zero matrix of order n is symmetric. We know that. That is, the zero matrix of order n is symmetric, as well as it is also skew symmetric. So the first question, if we take any matrix A from the set S, that is A belongs to S, then we can easily say that it is symmetric. For that reason, A equal to A transpose. If we take another matrix B from S, we also can say that B equal to B transpose. Now I will come to the property that A plus B whole transpose equals to, we can easily say that A transpose by B transpose from the property of the transposition. And here we can say that A plus B. So the first condition is satisfied. Then I will come to the second condition, that is a scalar multiplication. If we take any scalar alpha from F, then we can say that alpha dot A whole transpose equal to alpha dot A transpose. So we have already got that A equal to A transpose, so we can say that alpha dot A equal to alpha dot A. So it forms a subspace of MNF. Now I will go to the second one. The second one is a similar proof, just there is a big difference, that is, it is a skew symmetric matrix. So I have to take that A equal to minus A transpose. Otherwise the proof is same. Now we will go to the third proof. Here the question is W equal to A belongs to MNF such that trace A equal to 0 is a subspace of MNF. Now again we consider a zero matrix. So for zero matrix, here we have seen that trace A equal to 0. Now, if we take any two matrix AB from W, then we can say that trace A equal to 0 and trace B is equal to 0. If we take that trace A plus B, then we will get that trace A plus trace B. That means 0 plus 0, that is 0. The first condition, that is A plus B belongs to W. That is the first condition is satisfied. Now I will go to the second condition, that is trace alpha dot A equal to, we can easily say that alpha dot trace A. And we have previously seen that trace A equal to 0, so alpha dot 0 equal to 0. That means alpha A belongs to W. Here, so W is a subspace of MNF. Now I will come to the last question, that is the set consisting of all n cross n non-singular matrices cannot form a subspace. Here I will give a, I want to say that zero matrix is a singular matrix. We all know that. So for zero matrix, it does not contains the zero, it does not contains the as a singular matrix. For that reason, I cannot say that I can say that it forms a it will not forms a subspace. So this is the question. Now I will go to the second definition, that is what is a basis. So I come to the definition, that is a basis beta for a vector space V is a linearly independent subset of V that generates V. That means a basis beta, we will say it is a basis if it is a linearly independent subset of V that generates V. If beta is a basis for V, we also say that the vectors of beta forms a basis for V. Now I have given some examples recording that the span of phi is 0. We have already got that, and phi is linearly independent. We all know that. So we see that phi is a basis for the zero vector space. Then I have given the second example in M cross N F. Let Eij denote the matrix whose only non-zero entries is a 1 in the ith row and the jth column. Then Eij such that 1 less or equal to I less or equal to M and 1 less or equal to J less or equal to N is the basis for M cross N F. So here I have given a theorem. I think everyone knows the theorem. So I will not go to the brief description, but I will definitely give some ideas about this. So here the statement is, let V be a vector space and beta equal to u1, u2, dot, 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 un be a subset of V. Then we will say that beta is a basis for V if and only if each V belongs to V can be uniquely expressed as a linear combination of vectors of beta, that is, can be expressed in the form V equal to a1 u1 plus a2 u2 plus dot 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 plus an un for unique scalars a1, a2, dot dot an. So this is the statement. Now I will come to the proof. I have given the first portion of the proof, and the converse part is left. So I will describe the first portion, that is, let beta be a basis for V, and in the question it is given that V belongs to V. Then obviously we can say that V belongs to span beta, because we know that from a theorem that span beta equals to V. Thus, U is a linear combination of the vectors of beta. Then we can express U as the linear combinations of this. That is, U equal to A1 U1 plus A2 U2 plus dot 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 plus AN UN, and and the another one is U equal to B1 U1 plus B2 U2 plus dot 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 plus BN UN. These are the two representations of V. Now, subtracting the second equation from the first, we get that 0 equal to a1 minus b1 dot u1 plus a2 minus v2 dot u2 plus dot 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 plus an minus bn dot un. This is the obvious thing. And since we have got that beta is linearly independent, it follows that, so it is because it is linearly independent, so we can easily say that a1 minus b1 equal to a2 minus b2 equal to dot 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 equal to an minus bn, which is equal to 0. So we can get that a1 equal to b1, a2 equal to b2, dot 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 an equal to bn, and v is uniquely expressed as a linear combination of the vectors of beta. So this is the first part of the theorem, and the converse part is just left because it's a very obvious thing. Now I will come to the definition of what is dimension. A vector space is called finite dimensional if it has a basis consisting of a finite number of vectors. Here I have given the definition of what is finite dimensional vector space. If it has a basis consisting of a finite number of vectors, then we can say that it is a finite dimensional vector space. The another thing is the unique number of vectors in each basis for V is called the dimension of V, and it is denoted by dimension of V, dimension V. So these are the basic approaches of vector space. Now I will come to that the linear transformation. Previously I have described about linear transformation, but today also I will definitely give the definition of linear transformation. Then I will go to the further discussion. That is, what is linear transformation? We know that if v and w be two vector spaces over F, we call a function t from v to w a linear transformation from v to w if for xy belongs to v and c belongs to F, it satisfies the two condition, that is t of x plus y equal to tx plus ty and t of cx equal to ctx. Combining these two conditions, we can say that t of ax plus by equal to atx plus bty for all xy belongs to v and c belongs to F. So this is the definition of linear transformation. Previously I have discussed about this. Today I have given some examples. So here are the examples. The first example is, let if v equal to w equal to e1, that is define, here the transformation is defined as tx equal to mx, where m is a fixed real number. We have to show that t is a linear transformation. So here comes the proof that we have to then show that t is additive and as well as homogeneous. For the additivity, we let x and y be in E1. So t of x plus y, we can easily say that m dot x plus y, because the transformation is given here tx equal to mx. So m dot x plus y, we can say that mx equal to my, and for tx plus ty equal to mx plus my. So here the additivity satisfies. Now I come to the homogeneous. So t of rx equal to, we can say that m dot rx. From there we can say that mr dot x, then we can get r dot mx, that is r dot tx. So the homogeneous property is also satisfied. So we can say that T is a linear transformation. Here I come to the another example, that if we take v equal to w equal to u1 for x belongs to v, define fx equal to mx plus b, where m and b are real numbers and b not equal to 0, then we have to show that f is not a linear transformation. So this is an example of a linear which is not a linear transformation. So here I will say that fx plus y equal to m dot x plus y plus b. That means mx plus my plus b. And the another portion is fx plus fy. We can calculate this and we will get that mx plus my plus 2b. So since b not equal to 0 and 2b not equal to b, so fxy not equal to fx plus fy, so the additivity is not satisfied. Then how we can say this a linear transformation? So f is not a linear transformation. Next I will give another example, that is v equal to real valued function. Here we have chosen as the real valued functions defined and which are continuous on ab interval, that is CAB. Let w equals to u1 and we define a map t from v to w as tf equal to a to b integration a to b fx dx. We have to show that it is a linear transformation. Now we know that for integrable function we can easily say that if we take that integration a to b fx plus gx dx, we can get that a to b fx dx plus a to b gx dx. So the first property is satisfied. Then I will go to the second property. Similarly, a to b integration r dot fx dx, we can easily get that r dot a to b integration fx dx. So both the conditions are satisfied. So we can say that here f forms the, here t will be a linear transformation. Now I have given the fourth example, that is let v equal to m cross n and w being the another matrix, that is n cross m, and we define that t a equal to a transpose for a in m cross n. Then also we can see that t is a linear transformation by properties of transpose. Now today I will definitely discuss about the matrix representation of linear mapping. So before going to this, I will discuss about the definition of what is ordered basis. So a basis which is endowed with a specific order, then we call this a ordered basis. So if we endowed a specific order in a basis, then we can say that that is a ordered basis. So now I will come to the matrix representation of a linear mapping. Any questions from anyone? Kono problems karo?
Someone asked that. Hello, can you hear me?
স্যার আপনার ভয়েসটা একদম ক্লিয়ার আসছে না স্যার।
Hello,
হ্যালো,
can you hear me?
yes sir, definitely.
Okay. Shubroto Godai, he asks that for infinite dimensional vector space, how a basis or how the vectors in a basis are linearly independent. What would be the definition of a basis? I think you have already.
হ্যালো,
Yes. Hello.
হ্যাঁ স্যার।
So what is your definition? Can you repeat?
Sir, the definition of basis.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Okay, I will definitely repeat that. So here is the definition, that is a basis beta for a vector space V is a linearly independent subset of V that generates V. So the question comes about when it is infinite dimensional. So am I correct? Did I
Yeah,
question?
no. His question is, what do you mean by any subset of a vector space V to be linearly independent?
Any subset of V.
Sir, first up, we need to define a linearly independent set in a finite set, and then we generate its infinite arbitrary set.
Yeah.
Arbitrary set is said to be linearly independent if every finite subcollection of this set is linearly
Yeah.
independent. অর্থাৎ
Yes,
একটা
yes.
আরবিট্রারি সেটের যদি যে কোনো ফাইনাইট সাবকালেকশন গুলো লিনিয়ারলি ইন্ডিপেন্ডেন্ট হয়ে যায়, তখন সেই
Yes,
আরবিট্রারি
yes.
সেটটাকে আমি লিনিয়ারলি ইন্ডিপেন্ডেন্ট বলতে পারবো। এবার সেটা একটা বেসিস ইনফাইনাইট ডাইমেনশনাল তো বেসিস যে হবে ইন্ডিপেন্ডেন্ট হবে, সেরকম একটা ইনফাইনাইট সেট থাকবে। আর বেসিস মানে হচ্ছে সেটা ইউনিকলি স্প্যান করবে, মানে যেটা হচ্ছে যে একটা স্প্যানিং সেট বহু থাকতে পারে একটা ভেক্টর স্পেসে, কিন্তু যে স্প্যানিং সেটটা ওই স্পেসটাকে ইউনিকলি স্প্যান করবে সেটা হচ্ছে বেসিস। এবার ইনফাইনাইট ডাইমেনশন
No, you're getting wrong. What does it mean by span? Every vector can be expressed as linear combination of finitely many vectors taken from that set, right?
Yes, sir.
Don't put the word uniqueness into this.
স্যার বেসিস ইউনিকলি স্প্যান করবে যদি ফাইনাইট ডাইমেনশনাল স্পেসে নেন, সেখানে দেখবেন
You are talking about finite dimensions, but in general you cannot impose this uniqueness to this expression, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah, up to infinite dimensional से uniqueness টা নিয়ে আসা মুশকিল হয়ে যাবে।
Yeah. Okay, carry on.
Okay, sir.
Any questions, participants? Any questions, remarks, suggestions? Up to
স্যার
this?
আরেকটা ছেলে, স্যার
Yeah.
হ্যালো
Yeah.
স্যার, একটা জন কোশ্চেন করেছিলেন দিয়েছিল নন বেঙ্গলি ওদের, সে জিজ্ঞেস করেছিল বেসিস ইউনিক কিনা, হ্যাঁ, বা ইউনিক দিয়ে আবার তারপর জিজ্ঞেস করেছিল কেন নয়। তো সেই প্রশ্নের উত্তরটা কি বলবো স্যার? সে
Shantika, can you answer this question?
আগে
না স্যার, দাদা
The question is that bases are unique or not in a vector space.
basis are unique or not?
Yeah.
কোনো আইডিয়া এই মুহূর্তে দিতে পারবো না, যদি গ্রুপে কেউ বলতে পারে তো।
Can
No,
you
ইউনিক হয় না,
answer this
বেসিস
question?
ইউনিক হয় না, বেসিস অনেক হয়। হ্যাঁ,
Yeah.
এটা ফাইনাইট ডাইমেনশনাল ভেক্টর স্পেসের বেসিস অনেকগুলোই হতে পারে, হ্যাঁ,
Yes,
ইউনিক
yes.
নয়।
Yeah.
Unique.
Not unique.
এবার ওইটা
কিন্তু
এবার
আমি
সে
আর
কি-
একটা কথা বলতে চাইছি, সায়ন্তিকা, তুমি যদি এই যে লিনিয়ার ট্রান্সফরমেশনটাকে ওই অ্যাজ এ হোমোমরফিজম হিসাবে, মেইনলি অ্যাজ এ হোমোমরফিজম হিসাবে ট্রেস দাও, মিনস লাইক অ্যাজ গ্রুপ হোমোমরফিজম,
হ্যাঁ স্যার
তারপরে গ্রুপ আইসোমরফিজম, তারপরে এইরকম করে স্ট্রাকচারটা যদি তুমি লিনিয়ার ট্রান্সফরমেশনে নিয়ে আসো তাহলে বোধহয় বেটার হবে, মানে প্রিজার্ভ দ্য প্র্যাকটিক্যালি হোমোমরফিজম। লিনিয়ার ট্রান্সফরমেশন ইজ নাথিং বাট দ্য হোমোমরফিজম আপ টু ভেক্টর স্পেসেস, only nothing but the two homomorphism of two vector spaces. ওকে, যেমন আমরা গ্রুপ হোমোমরফিজম পড়েছি, যেমন আমরা রিং হোমোমরফিজম, এবং তোমরা হয়তো জানো যে প্র্যাকটিক্যালি এখন একটা ইউনিভার্সাল অ্যালজেব্রা বলে একটা সাবজেক্ট হয়েছে, যেখানে মানে জাস্ট একটু চেঞ্জ করে দিলেই গ্রুপ পাওয়া যায়, রিং পাওয়া যায়, পাঁচটা ইয়ে নেওয়া হয়, পাঁচটা প্যারামিটার নেওয়া হয়, তার মধ্যে কি চেঞ্জ করে দিলেই তুমি গ্রুপ পেয়ে যাবে, রিং পেয়ে যাবে, ফিল্ড পেয়ে যাবে, ভেক্টর স্পেস পেয়ে যাবে। ওগুলো সবগুলোকেই প্র্যাকটিক্যালি আমরা একটা পেপারে মানে একটা সাবজেক্ট হিসেবেই পড়তে পারি, হ্যাঁ, সেপারেট কিছু নয়। আমি এটা বলতে চাইছি আর কি, মানে অ্যাপ্রোচটা এইভাবে করলে তোমার একটু ভালো হয়। যে ম্যাটারটা হচ্ছে যে আমরা যেমন গ্রুপ হোমোমরফিজম পড়েছি, যেমন রিং হোমোমরফিজম পড়েছি, যেমন ভেক্টর স্পেস হোমোমরফিজম সেইভাবেই পড়ছি, অ্যাজ নামটা দিচ্ছি জাস্ট লিনিয়ার ট্রান্সফরমেশন, বাট ইট ইজ এ হোমোমরফিজম। ওকে ওকে শান্তিকা, ক্যারি আউট। হ্যাঁ, ওকে ওকে, হ্যাঁ।
So now I will come to the matrix representation of a linear mapping. So here I have given the approach, that is here V and W be to finite dimensional vector space over a field F, and we have taken that dimension of V equal to n and dimension of W equal to m, and let T from V to W be a linear mapping. Then we can say that T is completely determined by its actions on a given basis of V. So here we have chosen that alpha 1, alpha 2, dot alpha n be an ordered basis of V, and beta 1, beta 2, dot bm as be an ordered basis of W. Here we have chosen this. Now I will say that T is completely determined by the images of T of alpha 1, T of alpha 2, dot T of alpha n. This is obvious. Next we will say that each T alpha I in W is a linear combination of the vectors, that is beta 1, beta 2, dot beta m. Now I have represented this as the following, that is T of alpha 1 equal to alpha 1, 1, beta 1 plus alpha 2, 1, beta 2 plus dot alpha m1, beta m. Following this rule, we have got that T of alpha n equal to alpha 1n beta 1 plus alpha 2n beta 2 plus dot alpha mn beta m, where alpha ij are unique scalars in F determined by the ordered basis beta 1, beta 2, dot beta m. Now I have chosen a xi, which is the linear combination of the basis alpha 1, alpha 2, dot alpha n, that is xi equal to x1 alpha 1 plus x2 alpha 2 plus dot plus xn alpha n be an arbitrary vector of V. And we can now we will define that is now we'll define the linear transformation T over that is T xi equal to, we will get that y1 beta 1 plus y2 beta 2 plus dot ym beta m for all xi yi belongs to F. Now T of xi equal to T of x1 alpha 1 plus x2 alpha 2 plus dot plus xn alpha n. We know that since it is T is linear, so from the linear transformation property we can say that x1 T alpha 1 plus x2 T alpha 2 plus dot plus xn T alpha n. Now I will put the values of T of alpha 1, T of alpha 2 and going on this T of alpha n. So I have put this values. Now since beta 1 beta 2 dot beta m is linearly independent, so I will represent y1 y2 ym in this form, that is y1 equal to a11 x1 plus a12 x2 plus dot plus a1n xn, and y2 in that similar way, and going this similarly we can get ym, that is am1 x1 plus am2 x2 plus dot plus amn xn. From this we will get the matrix, that is from in the left hand side we have got y1 y2 dot ym, and in the right hand side we have got a11 a12 dot a1n, and going on this we have got the last row, that is am1 am2 dot am dot x1, x2, dot, 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 xn. We can say that y equal to ax. So this is the final form. But how we have got this, where a equal to aij mn, since x is the coordinate vector of an arbitrary element xi in V relative to the ordered basis alpha 1, alpha 2, dot, 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 alpha n. We know that. And y is the coordinate vector of t xi in W relative to the ordered basis of beta 1, beta 2, dot, 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 beta m. From the equation 1 this is the matrix representation of the linear mapping T relative to the chosen ordered basis of V and W. So this is the final representation of matrix in linear transformation, that is y equal to ax. If xi equal to alpha j, then we can say that all the components, that is x1 equal to 0, x2 equal to 0, dot, 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 xj minus 1 equal to 0, and we will get that xj equal to 1 and xj plus 1 equal to 0. From that we can get that xn equal to 0, and y1 equal to aij, y2 equal to a2j. Going on this, we will get aym equal to amj. Therefore the coordinate vectors of t alpha j relative to the ordered basis beta 1, beta 2, dot, 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 beta m is given by the jth column. So now I have given the representation of the matrix, that is A equal to A11, A12, dot, A1n. Similarly, going on A M1, AM2, dot, AM. This is the matrix associated with the linear mapping T relative to the chosen ordered basis of V and W. A is also called the matrix of T relative to the chosen ordered basis. So this is the matrix representation of the linear mapping, linear transformation. So I have given this description. Any questions or any problems? Hello?
স্যার
হুম।
স্যার অভিষেক গুপ্তা বলছে যে যে একটা ভেক্টর স্পেসের বেসিকটা ইউনিক কি নয়, এটা কি উইদাউট এক্সাম্পল কি করে এক্সপ্লেন করা যাবে? তো ওর অ্যান্সারে বলছি স্যার যে সাপোজ যে কোনো একটা ভেক্টর স্পেস যদি নিই, ইনফাইনাইট ভেক্টর স্পেস যদি নিই, R2 R3 বা যে যখন যদি Rn নিই, তো সেখানে যদি যে কোনো একটা নন জিরো ভেক্টরস নিই, তো তার যদি আমি সিঙ্গেলটন সেট বানাই, তো সেই সিঙ্গেলটন নন জিরো ভেক্টর সেটটা হয়ে যাবে লিনিয়ারলি ইন্ডিপেন্ডেন্ট। এবার এনি লিনিয়ারলি ইন্ডিপেন্ডেন্ট সেট of a vector space, it either a basis or it can be extend to a basis of the space। তাহলে এটাকে হয় এটা বেসিস, নয় এটাকে বেসিস এক্সটেন্ড করা যাবে। এবার তাহলে যে কোনো একটা লিনিয়ারলি নন জিরো ভেক্টর নিয়েছিলাম, তার সেট বানিয়েছিলাম, সেটা হয়ে গেছিল লিনিয়ারলি ইন্ডিপেন্ডেন্ট। এবার এটাকে বেসিস এক্সটেন্ড করা যাবে। তাহলে এবার আমি R2 বা Rn যে কোনো জায়গাতে ইনফাইনাইট ভেক্টর স্পেস যদি হয়, মানে ভেক্টর স্পেসের কার্ডিনালিটি যদি ইনফাইনাইট হয়, তাহলে আমি যদি একটা সিঙ্গেলটন নন জিরো ভেক্টর নিই, তাহলে এরকম নন জিরো ভেক্টর সেট কতগুলো পাওয়া যাবে? ইনফাইনাইটলি মেনি পাওয়া যাবে, আর প্রত্যেককে বেসিসে এক্সটেন্ড করা যাবে। সো যে কোনো একটা মানে একটা ভেক্টর স্পেসের কার্ডিনালিটি যদি ইনফাইনাইট হয়, সো সেখানে আমি ইনফাইনাইটলি মেনি বেসিস পেতে পারি, যাদের ডাইমেনশনগুলো সেম থাকবে বাট ইনফাইনাইটলি বেসিস পেতে পারি। এটা হচ্ছে মানে থিওরিটিক্যাল লজিকটা এটা। থ্যাংক ইউ।
Hello?
তা তুমি কি
I have a
বলছো?
question.
হ্যালো মহাদেব, 1 মিনিট। হ্যালো মহাদেব, আহ, তুমি কি বলছো মানে ফাইনাইট ডাইমেনশন ভেক্টর স্পেসে ইনফাইনাইটলি মেনি বেসিস থাকবে না?
হ্যাঁ বললাম তো, সেটাই তো বললাম। তুমি সাপোজ R2 নাও, R2 তে যে কোনো একটা নন জিরো ভেক্টর নাও, এনি নন জিরো ভেক্টর তুমি নাও, ঠিক আছে?
হুম,
এনি নন জিরো ভেক্টর নিলে সেটাকে তুমি সিঙ্গেলটন সেট বানালে, সেই সেটটা কি হবে? লিনিয়ারলি ইন্ডিপেন্ডেন্ট হবে। এবার যে কোনো একটা
হ্যাঁ,
লিনিয়ারলি ইন্ডিপেন্ডেন্ট সেটকে তুমি কি করতে পারো? একটা এক্সটেনশন থিওরামটাই আছে, দেখবে লিনিয়ারলি ইন্ডিপেন্ডেন্ট সেট আইদার এ বেসিস অর ইট ক্যান বি
অবশ্যই অবশ্যই।
এক্সটেন্ডেড টু এ বেসিস অফ দ্য স্পেস। তাহলে ওই যে লিনিয়ারলি ইন্ডিপেন্ডেন্ট সেটটা, সেটাকে বেসিস এক্সটেন্ড করতে পারবে,
হুম হুম হুম,
কারণ R2তেও তুমি
বুঝতে
ইনফাইনাইট মেনি
পেরেছি।
বেসিস পাবে। বুঝতে পেরেছো?
ঠিক
বাট
আছে
আমার
ঠিক
একটা
আছে।
হ্যাঁ, একটা কোশ্চেন আছে। হ্যালো,
হ্যাঁ বলো।
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ
বলছি
হ্যাঁ,
যে লিনিয়ার কম্বিনেশনটা যে ইউনিক, মানে পার্টিকুলার একটা বেসিস নিলাম, তার সম্পর্কে যেটা ফাইনাইট ডাইমেনশনাল সেই ইউনিকনেসটা বলা যায় যে ইউনিকলি উইথ রেসপেক্ট টু দিস বেসিস এক্সপ্রেস করা যায় যে কোনো ভেক্টরকে। বাট ইনফাইনাইট ডাইমেনশনাল স্যার বললেন বলা যায় না, তো এক্সাম্পলটা আমি ভিজুয়ালাইজ করতে পারছি না।
ওটার এক্সাম্পলটা আমি বুঝতে পারলাম না, ওটা সত্যি নেক্সট দিন ওটা আলোচনা করা যাবে, একটু খুঁজে দেখতে হবে, বুঝলে?
ওকে
আজকে
ওকে।
এটা তাহলে কন্টিনিউ হোক। হ্যাঁ।
Continue.
Okay, so now I will give the geometrical transformations. I have given some geometric transformations, and there are some geometric pictures also. So I will discuss this. So for we have used vectors and matrices for the most part to write a system of linear equations in more concise form as a vector or matrix equation. This often enables us to interpret such properties of systems of equations as unique or multiple solutions in different ways, and to find the solution systematically using row reduction. For instance, system of linear equations still occur, but more as a step on the way to understanding or interpreting something rather than as something of importance in its own right. So previously we associated as M cross N matrix A with a linear transformation, that is TAX equal to AX, where TA is a linear transformation from Rn to Rm using matrix multiplication, and conversely by fundamental theorem 1, each linear transformation T, that is from Rn to Rm, can be written as T equal to Ta when A is the standard matrix. But frequently, a linear transformation T is described in geometric terms by some mathematical properties, say as rotation through of prescribed angle. Let's see how this works for a number of geometric transformation from the T from R2 to R2. By the fundamental theorem of all that we need do is determined T E1 and T E2, where E1 and E2 corresponds to the usual, that is I equal to 1, 0 and J equal to 0, 1 in the plane. Now I have given the geometrical approaches. So first we will define rotation through phi counterclockwise direction. So here here TE1, we have got that E1 equal to 1, 0 and G2 equal to 0, 1 previously. So I have drawn the axes, and we have plotted the first points, that is 1, 0 and 0, 1. Now I have rotated through an phi angle in counterclockwise direction, and the point is shifted. Actually আমি এখানে কোনো color variation দিয়ে দেখাতে পারিনি, for that reason এই পজিশনে পয়েন্টেড পজিশনটা চেঞ্জ হচ্ছে phi angle এর রেসপেক্টে, that is cos phi sin phi 1, 0 রেসপেক্টে চেঞ্জ হচ্ছে, 0, 1 টা চেঞ্জ হচ্ছে minus sin phi cos phi, because ওটা সেকেন্ড কোঅর্ডিনেটস এ চলে যাচ্ছে। So এখান থেকে from this we can say that TE1 equal to T10, that is after the linear transformation we have got cos phi sin phi, and on the other hand TE2 we have got after the transformation, after the rotation, we have got that is minus sin phi cos phi. Now here it is the representation of the matrix, that is A equal to cos phi sin phi minus sin phi cos phi. Now I have given the another description of the phi through clockwise direction, that is the rotation through phi clockwise direction about the origin. So here also E1 equal to 1, 0 and E2 equal to 0, 1. First we have plotted these 2 points, then we have rotated the axis in phi angle through clockwise direction. So the point 0, 1 is shifted to sin phi cos phi, and the point 1, 0 is shifted to cos phi minus sin phi. So we can say that TE1 equal to T10, which is shifted to cos phi minus sin phi, and TE2 equal to T01, which is shifted to sin phi cos phi. So here we get the matrix, that is A equal to cos phi minus sin phi cos phi. Now I will give the idea about the reflection. So reflection is what, that is the image in same distance. আমরা যদি মিররের সামনে দাঁড়াই, মিরর থেকে আমাদের যে ডিসটেন্সটা হবে, মিররের ঠিক অপোজিটে সেম ডিসটেন্সে যেটা পাবো সেটা, that is the reflection. So here again E1 equal to 1, 0 and E2 equal to 0, 1, the ordered basis, that is we have plotted these 2 points, that is 1, 0 and 0, 1. So here we will do the reflection on the x1 axis. So the 0, 1 point is reflected on the in the another axis that we have got in this axis, and the point goes to 0, minus 1. So here TE1 equal to T10, and it definitely goes to 1, 0 same, and TE2 equal to T01, which goes to 0, minus 1, because here the reflection is through the x1 axis, and we got the matrix, that is 1, 0, 0, minus 1. Similarly, I have given that is the reflection through x2 axis. We will get that a equal to -1 0 0 1. Then we have given that reflection through x1 equal to x2. If x1 equal to x2, then we will get that a equal to 0 1 1 0. Reflection through x1 plus x2 equal to 0 যদি আমরা করি তাহলে a equal to 0 -1 -1 0 হবে। And similarly, reflection through the origin যদি হয় তাহলে a equal to -1 0 0 -1. So here is the geometric representation, that is the rotation and reflections of the axes. Any questions, sir? If any,
I have question.
Yes, sir.
There is any generalization, general formula for any with respect to reflection with respect to any straight line going through the origin?
Question টা আরেকবার repeat.
বলছি কোনো এখানে তো প্রত্যেকটা কোনো ওয়াই অ্যাক্সিস বা পার্টিকুলার কোনো অ্যাক্সিসের সাপেক্ষে রিফ্লেকশন ম্যাট্রিক্সটা ফর্ম করিয়েছো, তো যদি আমি যে কোনো একটা আরবিটারি স্ট্রেট লাইন নিলাম যেটা পাসিং থ্রু দ্য অরিজিন, তো তার ক্ষেত্রে কিভাবে ম্যাট্রিক্সটা আমি পাবো সেটা এক নাম্বার, পাওয়া তো ডেফিনেটলি যাবে, বাট সেটা কিভাবে পাবো একটু যদি বলা যায়।
Passing through the origin.
যে এখানে তো প্রত্যেকটা যে ওয়াই অ্যাক্সিস, এক্স অ্যাক্সিস এবং এক্স ইকুয়াল টু ওয়াই তিনটে স্ট্রেট লাইনে নেওয়া হয়েছে যার সাপেক্ষে রিফ্লেকশন ম্যাট্রিক্স গুলো বার করা হয়েছে, প্রত্যেকই পাসিং থ্রু দ্য অরিজিন। সো আই গেস প্রত্যেকটা, এবং যদি আমি যে কোনো স্ট্রেট লাইন পাসিং থ্রু দ্য অরিজিন এরকম ধরনের স্ট্রেট লাইন তার একটা রিফ্লেকশন ম্যাট্রিক্স ডেফিনেটলি আমি পাবো। তো
হ্যালো
সেটা
হ্যালো
হ্যাঁ
Hello. Hello. Hello.
সেক্ষেত্রে u1 আর u2 cos থিটা sin থিটা and u2 হচ্ছে মাইনাস sin থিটা cos থিটা, and then মানে t of u1 is equal to u1 হবে। আমি যদি রিফ্লেক্ট করছি মানে ওই লাইনের রেসপেক্টে,
আমি একটা আরবিটারি স্ট্রেট লাইন নিচ্ছি, কিন্তু ধর y ইকুয়াল টু mx, এই